Hey, we're live. You can go anytime, Jeff.
Okay, we will call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock, according to my phone. And we will start with approval of the agenda.
Grant, I will make a motion for approval of the agenda.
Thank you, Jeff. In a second, please.
Windsor County will second it.
Second.
I heard Windsor. Thank you. Any additions, corrections to the agenda?
Patty, did you want one of those, the
Yes.
National Volunteer Week? You want that moved to May?
Yes, the partnership award is supposed to be in May because the deadline is May 1st. So that gives any other nominations be submitted before the board reviews and votes.
Okay.
So this number B for the May agenda.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I was looking at my treasurer stuff.
Okay. Anything else on the agenda? Okay. All those in favor of the approving the agenda as amended, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay.
Caledonia County, aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. Secretary's report should have been in your packets. I will entertain a motion to approve the Secretary's report.
Grant, I will make a motion to approve the secretary's report as it was in the packet.
And a second, please.
Caledonia
Windsor County will second it.
second.
I heard Windsor County again for second. Any additions, corrections to the Secretary's report? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. Thank you. Patty, Treasurer's report, please.
Okay, so I sent this out an email earlier today. So everybody should have received that. Starting with the membership. We had a 1694 membership income activity for the month of March. We are 83% of our budget expectation, and that includes the $10. If we take the $10 out, we're at 77%. If you want to do a comparison year over year, which is about 10% less than we were last year at this time. All right, and then we go on to income. Oh, my papers are all a mess here now. I got myself all disheveled. Okay, income. Well, I'm a mess here. Sorry about that, guys. I don't normally do that like that, but I was getting myself all prepped here. Income we had for the month of March, $9,600 dollars. With the $10, we're at 79%, and without the $10 increase, we're at 75%. And again, that's about 10% where we were last year at this time. And income two included about 1,700 in membership, 11,500 in SSTP management services, and 4,300 in media sales. There was also a credit from the Green Mountain National Forest that came out of the money. When we look at expenses for the month of March, we had about 80K in expenses, of which 11K was in trails, 8,700 was in GPS and contracts, and 2,500 was in government relations. And general fund had about 4,500 in salaries and benefits. We're about 50% of our fiscal year now, and we're at 49% of our expense budget. So that's right on target. Then I also included the trails stuff. Again, the trails encumbered March. So on that table, it says February 2024, should say March 2024. Our season so far was 318,535, which is the same as last year under regular construction and projects. We didn't have anything go through there, but we did have some flood relief trail projects get paid, 6725. And so for the flood relief money so far, we have spent $379,406. And that's about almost 51% of that 750. So we have also put aside in membership about 169K out of the that $10 increase into reserves too, as was voted on after the annual meeting. I should have mentioned that up front. And then on the back end of that are the charts. That's what I have, Jeff.
Thank you, Patty.
Shouldn't
Any-
shuffle my papers around like that.
Any
Sorry.
questions for Patty on the treasurer's report? I will entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Grant, I will make a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
And a second, please.
Lamoille will second.
Thank you, Dustin.
Oh, Dustin got in that time.
Woo!
Hey, now I can move all these papers aside. Thank you.
Oh, let's see. Nothing tabled, old business. Waterbury Bridge, very brief update. Jeff Alpin, please. Maybe Jeff is not
All right,
there.
guys, I'm on a new computer, so I'm learning my controls are in different spots. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you, Jeff.
I'm listening nicely. So we have been on vacation. I have a little bit, I have reached out to A&R 4 times to Julie and with no, I don't know if maybe they're on vacation, but we do have a connection in the A&R. The president of Waterbury works for A&R, so they're going to reach out on that end. But as far as that goes, we do have some information in on some of the so basically Corey Hathaway from the Lamoille Treescapes, they are fully insured, and they have thrown a bid over, depending on what A&R recommends, somewhere between $1,500 and $3,500 to remove the tree work from there. We're just waiting on how to do it properly from A&R. And so that's really where we're at now. Nate is out of town till Thursday, but when he gets back to work, he is going to reach out. I do have a group put together on an email ready to go. I'm just waiting for info to send out. We have 2 members of the Ridge Runners, two members of the Roamers, and I'm going to put whoever else is interested, at least Matt and Cindy. Jeff, if you want to be on that email, I can also do it. And it's just obviously for informational purposes. I'm hoping to make a lot of in the next week and a half. I'd really like to have this taken care of possibly by Memorial Day, if possible at all. So we're just looking for them to get back to us. We're kind of in a standing position right now, just waiting for them to get back to us. I don't know, again, why. I've left some really nice messages on Julie's voicemail, and I've even sent an email over, and I've heard nothing back. But a lot of people are vacationing this time of year. So Nate will look into that when he gets down to work and see if we can't push that along. So, but
Jeff,
other than
can I
that,
just
I
ask
have
a
a whole lot
question?
of
I'm
new
sorry.
information.
Are you talking about leaving messages for Julie Moore?
That says that's who he told me to leave him with, to get a hold of Julie Moore.
Because she's not going to call you back. I mean, she's the secretary of the agency. What she will do is delegate. So she's probably passed your messages on to some other people.
Well,
It's
it does say
probably
it's
a
Julie. She
district
answers.
coordinator. It's probably a district coordinator. Anyway, we can circle back with who the right person at A&R might be for you.
Well, maybe I was going to reach out to you and Matt when we just got back from traveling, but I was going to see if we could speed that along. I was just trying to take an easy process with it. But that being said, also Nate works down there. So I figure when he gets back this week, also we should have some movement on it at some sort.
Yeah.
So we're not afraid of anybody reaching out to try to speed this along. We do have a good quote. This guy is ready. Corey is ready to do the work. He is fully insured and licensed. He does a ton of work out of the he lives in the Hyde Park area. He does Stowe and Waterbury area. Very renowned for tree service. I believe he's also a snowmobiler. I'm not sure. So we're ready to go. It's just we need to know what we need to do it legally and make them happy. So
Sure. No, I was just pointing out that if you haven't heard back from her, she's probably passed the message along. Carol, A&R is the Agency of Natural Resources. It's a state agency. and they've got thousands of staff members. It's one of the biggest agencies in the state. Whoops, sorry, I just knocked into my computer.
Is that
Anyway,
another tremor?
all right. No, I just knocked my desk with my knee.
So Jeff, I was driving by the bridge on the interstate the other day, and it looks like somebody's been in there with a chainsaw to cut off the tops of those.
I don't know. I did ask that question. Nate has asked that question to people. There definitely looks like there was some trimming done. We are going to try to plywood up the gates a little bit better and put some signs on both sides to make them, against penalty of law maybe, or some signage on both sides, just to keep people off there. But it looks like some of the tops were trimmed off, Pat. I agree with you. I just drove by it tonight on the way home from Burlington, and I thought the same thing. So I talked to Nate when I got home here, and he said, yeah, he thinks so too. So we're going to tighten it up down there, but we really just need to get the okay so we can get this done.
Right.
And then I'll get it over to Matt for okay of the, we'll put it in as a project and we'll get it done ASAP, but we just need to get it in our.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Jeff, has anybody talked to Fire's Tree Service that owns the land on that side of the bridge about
I
doing the
believe
work?
there was 3 people interested, but the only one that really said he'll do it whenever we're ready and seemed really flexible was Corey. So as far as Nate may have that answer on whether he's one of the 3 companies, I can reach out, Matt, and find that out. It seemed like, he was trying to do it, make sure we're insured and we're licensed and reputable. And then also, just trying to make sure we had it covered when we wanted to do it and we weren't waiting months. Everybody understands that it is kind of a liability and we're looking to get something done. So at this point, we're just in a holding pattern on A&R. And I think this week between maybe you and Cindy and Nate going back to work, we can get something out of that. So I believe May 1st is the cutoff for any river work anyways. Is it not? Is that correct? Is it May 1st to October or something like that?
I think it's June or July before you can get in the river
Oh,
and
is it
do any
that late?
work. But yeah, but I don't know if they would consider that necessarily river work.
I'm hoping
but-
it's still kind of flood repair, so.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they say, but if you reach out to them, have them please reach out to me. Or if you get any information, please email me. I've got an email ready to go out with all the members of the group. So I can definitely attach that to that and then we can get something going here. I believe that I got the email of Corey also for the tree service. So he'll be in on the loop on that and hopefully we can speed things along to get it scheduled. We're going to hand it right over to you as a project and see if you can get it okayed for us, so.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right. Welcome.
New business, National Volunteer Week, Patty.
You're
mute.
on mute, Patty.
Can I share my screen? Can you give me access to
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna just
really
make
off
you.
my game tonight. My apologies.
Sorry, I'm gonna make you host if you'll make me host afterwards.
Absolutely.
There you go. And let anybody in if they pop in, please,
Okay.
because I won't see it now.
Share my screen. Who can share? Host only. Who can start share host only? Okay. It's not,
Oh wait, it didn't work. Hang on.
it did. I just got it.
Oh.
Okay. See if I can. Can you all see my screen now?
We can.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, this is the rah-rah session. So we're talking about National Volunteer Week, and that happens to be this week, April 21st through 27th. Trying to figure out how to move this along here. So I put in here just a little background. It started in 74. It's the 3rd week of April. So this year falls again 21st to 27. It's about inspiring figures and really contributions through volunteering, which are bettering the snowmobile community. So I put that piece in for us. It really highlights the importance of every volunteer and each contribution that you guys make at a moment when we need support more than ever. And I think this year was one of those years. It's the sharing of your time, your skills, your empathy, and your creativity. And I'm not going to read word for word, but I will give this to Mandy afterwards so she can send this along to you guys. This has definitely been a challenging year for our volunteers. Your hard work and dedication, getting the trails ready for the season was incredible. We had 2 flood events With the bridges, we had foundations, we had bridges moved downstream. Some were compromised, some couldn't be salvaged and you had to rebuild bridges, and some just needed some additional work to them. We also had new rivers were formed on a lot of people's trails, which carved out new paths. And some clubs had to actually, instead of just rebuilding that trail, had to reroute trails. Culverts were a mess. I know personally, I saw them downstream. A lot of them were clogged. Some had to be reinstalled. New ones had to be installed. And some places that never had a culvert before had to get one with the new water movement. Trees were washed out and fell into the trails throughout the state and had to be removed. And then we had winds that came soon after the flood, which more trees have been compromised and they fell. So what the list of what the volunteers had to do this season really is very extensive and goes on and on. So it's a challenging year, and that's the theme here. Mother Nature or Father Winter, whichever you prefer, provided some snow, but not as much as we all would have liked and what we really all needed and wanted. Late March, early April, when the ground was actually thawing and the water was already starting to run. We had some snow, a little too late for many of us, especially after all the time and hard work you guys put in and money that was spent getting the trails ready for the season. The weather just did not cooperate with us. So again, a challenging year for sure. And so the Awards and Recognition Committee wants to say thank you to all of you on behalf of the vast community. You are the volunteer leaders of this association. Your countless hours of volunteering in leadership roles really make things happen. You represent the voices of many. In addition to volunteering at your club level, you volunteer at the county level and represent your county at the vast board. So thank you to our volunteers, our leaders. So the VAST officers, the county directors, the alternate directors, the trails coordinators, and the assistant trails coordinators should have received the package. If you didn't get it already, you should be receiving it any day now with a challenge coin in it. It was a customized challenge coin that was made for each of you. A lot of the emergency services have this kind of a coin, and I thought it be very fitting, in the committee, we were unanimous on this. You guys have had a challenging year, and a challenge coin seemed most appropriate. So hopefully you've seen it and received it. I think it came out pretty awesome. Ruth, Amber, and Dick are on there from the volunteer side of it, and Matt and Cindy from the staff side of it on this committee. So everybody was in agreement on this particular item. And again, I think it came out pretty awesome. So your responsibility is to spread the word of thank you. We encourage you to take a moment. I know it's cliche to say thank you to your volunteers that help you throughout the year, but I know a lot of folks don't like to be recognized and don't want awards and things like that. And but a thank you, even when you don't like all those things, goes a long way. Whether it's a card or a handshake, a phone call or an email. Really, there's so many awesome volunteers who really got things done, and the list of people and what they did this year is just very extensive. So there are no two stronger or impactful words to those who volunteer than thank you. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for everything that you did on behalf of the committee and on behalf of the association. And that's my spiel. Thank you. I'm done, Sin.
All right, you just need to stop sharing and make me host
Trying
again.
to figure out how to stop share.
I would like to thank Patty for all her hard work on this and everybody else involved. It's a very nice gesture from the vast people, and I think it's awesome. So thank you very much.
It was definitely a committee effort. So thank you, though, Jeff. I appreciate that. Now it doesn't like me as the host, Cindy. So
You should
stop
be.
share. I see the red button. There we go. And I'll give it back to you.
All right.
Where are you? There you are. You moved around. Make host. And we should be good. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody. And
Thank you,
hopefully you
Patty.
got the coin, and I hope everybody thinks it's pretty cool as well.
I thought it was very cool. Quite a surprise when I got the mail on Saturday. And thank you, and thank you to the committee.
Thank all of you.
All right, club merger document, Cindy and Julianne.
Yeah, I don't think Julianne's here tonight, so Julianne and I put together a document on club mergers. And so I took a first stab at it, and then she brought it back to her county because she's had quite a few clubs that are in the process, or a few clubs in Orange County, to get their take on it and to add to it. So I just wanted to show you guys where it's at. And so I'm going to share my screen. And if you go to VAST website and click on forms, let me find it here. Right here, VAST Guidance Club Consolidation Merger. So if you have any clubs that are interested in consolidation and merging, these are directions on best practices and how to do that. And yeah, we just wanted to point out that this is here, and this is something that, you know, we've seen happen successfully. So always more than happy to come to club meetings and or county meetings and talk about it too. But if anybody sees anything on here that they've been through this before and they think that something should be added to it, please let me know and I can update it. But it is a guideline. And then the other thing, since Patty just brought up the whole volunteer thing, and I know I've brought this up to you guys before, but there's also VAST volunteer recruitment, since Patty was just talking about VAST volunteers. This is a great tool for talking about how to recruit volunteers, how to thank volunteers, all kinds of stuff, all about volunteers and clubs. And if this is something that anybody is interested in, it's also talks about clubs and roles in clubs and task lists and jobs and things like that. So it's a great PowerPoint presentation, and it's also on the forms page here on the website for folks. And that's all I have, unless anybody has questions.
Thank you, Cindy.
Easy crowd tonight.
Oh, let's see, where are we at? So, Trails Committee motion? Is that something we,
Oh, Matt, did you need a motion, or was that left on from last month? Did you guys need anything for the Trails Committee?
I think it was left on from last month.
Okay, my apologies. Well, it is an easy meeting.
That was the training stuff, I think.
So far.
okay, I guess that brings us into the Trails Administrator ED report. And any questions or comments on those reports that were in your packet? Or anything that the three of you would like to add?
I had something from Matt, on the grants you're doing. Can you explain what you have, like 3 of them you mentioned that you have outstanding? What's going on with those? How those work? I don't, and just educate quickly. Here it is. The FRP and the COREC grant. And then you have a landowner permissions for these VOREC grants. And you're on mute. Because I think people need to realize there's a lot of time and energy that goes into requesting grants. And I think 2 meetings ago, there was like 6 of them he was working on. So, Matt, if you can
Sorry,
there you go.
The VORAC grant, so that's a mistake. It should be VORAC, not CORAC. Those grants, I'm trying to get some money back on some of our bigger flood relief projects because there is a flood recovery category for the VORAC grants. So I'm trying to get back around $100,000 that we put out for that flood work for think there's 8 projects that I'm working on that on. And yeah, it's been a challenge. They keep wanting different stuff and 5-year permissions from the landowners. And it's been challenging. I've been pretty frustrated with it a few times to the point where I'm like, I don't even know why we're bothering to try. But then I look at the $100,000 we can get back and it's like, well, okay, I'll keep going. But we're almost there. See the light at the end of the tunnel, I think. As long as a couple of the landowners are willing to sign the 5-year permissions. I'm waiting on 2 permission forms out of the 8 projects at this point. So that's what those are. And it basically, it's going to replace funding we already spent out of that 750,000. So I guess one of my concerns is if we have another event like that in July or any time between now and next season, what are we going to do? So the reality is there that it could happen again the way things have been going. So if we, can get 100,000 back, it'd be 100,000 more we could spend on this again. I hope we don't have to, but
Plan for it anyway.
yeah. Try
What
anyway.
is
The money was
FRP?
there. So
What is FRP?
FRP, that's who they are. The VORAC grants are running through Forest Parks and Recreation.
Should be
I also do through Forest Parks and Rec. There's a RTP grant process that we go through, and that goes towards grooming. So I've been working on that too. We are going to get a grant. We normally do because they have to use a percentage for motorized. So us and Vassal usually get that motorized portion. So we have to invoice for that and provide documents and different things. So that's what that one is. But Vorax
Thank you.
also went through them.
Matt,
I know it's a lot of work.
are any of those projects in Windsor County that you're looking for permission slips for?
No, there is one in Windsor County, but they already got me the permission.
Okay.
So
Just
it was for the
okay.
pig farm bridge in Andover.
Okay.
On Chester Mountain Road. I put that one in because that was a high dollar project. So I already have everything for that one, I think, that we need. Did that explain
No,
what
I
you needed,
appreciate
Patty?
you
Or
doing this. Yeah, this is great. That was great. I just think people need to know too, there's other ways where we get income and Matt does a great job with those grants, trying to get additional funds for the association. So, and if anybody's even done one grant, it's very painful. So we appreciate you doing all these. And this is, like I said, a couple months ago, you had like 6 of them you were working on. So, thank you.
yeah, no, we have a good team. I have a lot of help too from other people that help me with it and do some of my dirty work for me. So I appreciate the staff we have to help. So
Any other questions on the reports that were in the packet?
hey, Jeff, one thing I didn't think to put in there, I thought of it after, was if the directors, if you're having county meetings, if you just want to remind your county folks that the deadlines for equipment grant aid are June 1st and construction is June 30th. And also the May Trails Committee meeting is coming up, and that's where we need to present any additional trail mileage to grooming contracts or new trails, things like that are going to cost vast money. We need to get that stuff into me by like May 10th or so, so I can get it on the agenda and talk with Kurt about an agenda for that special May Trails Committee meeting. So just as a reminder, remind everyone, I forgot to put that in there.
Thank you, Matt.
Just a note, Julianne is now here. Sorry, she emailed me about sending her the link and I didn't get it. So she finally called me. That's who I just picked up the phone from anyway. So she's now in the meeting. She just did it because she didn't want to talk during the time that she was on the agenda with me.
That's not true.
I know.
Okay. Committee reports, I guess, is we're off to next. AORG, or whatever the acronym is for that. Mark?
We met this past week to discuss a couple of topics. The first topic is state Forest Parks and Recreation, FBR, is implementing a requirement for anybody who uses a chainsaw on state land to have any, you can help me with this, Cindy and Matt. The policy, any group that has volunteers using chainsaws on land owned by the state needs to have a chainsaw training policy. It's similar, but nowhere near as stringent as what the U.S. Forest Service has for work on Forest Service land. And it can be satisfied with people watching videos. So we received, it's been going back and forth for a while, and it's not just VAST that has an issue with it. There's Green Mountain Club, Cross Vermont Trail, any number. I've all been scratching our heads about how to address this. So Matt had thought maybe it was a liability issue. And I guess it could be. We want all of our volunteers to have adequate training. So the way we met and developed an idea to include some video trainings as part of the construction seminar courses. What are they? Both half an hour, Matt? I can't remember how long they are.
Mandy's
Yeah,
the one who built them.
I think one is 38 minutes and one is around 12 minutes.
Okay. So it's not too onerous. As part of this, as a way to encourage our folks to take this serious, the RRG decided to sponsor the training and provide PPE kits to all clubs who complete the training. So if you're going to be doing any construction or new equipment or any type of grant next year, you're required to take the course. This is an additional video that's on it. So when you do that, the club will receive a set of PPE, which be the helmet, the face shield, chaps. It'll be a one size fit all, so that there's no excuse for a club not having proper equipment for volunteers to use while chainsawing. We okayed an expenditure up to $25,000. The RRG does have that amount of money, and part of our mission is to reduce risk and address risk management in our with our members. There were a number of options. I haven't seen what was finally settled on. I don't think we've made that decision, but we wanted to let the board know that this was taking place. Is there any questions about this?
I will say that we haven't finalized the company yet, but Mandy's been doing a great job researching, and we have decided we're probably going to move into a direction where some of it will be one size fits all, and then others will be like gloves. They'll be able to order the size of the gloves. So it's not just for clubs that have trails on state land. This is for all clubs, even though the state's requiring it. For our insurance purposes, we're asking all clubs, just like they send someone through the spring construction seminar, and then you'll receive this PPE kit. And that's what the insurance company is sponsoring.
So like Cindy said, Mandy is still working out the finer points on the details, but it's already been added to the course, I believe. So when someone takes it, the club will become eligible and they will receive however we decide to give it some PPE for chainsawing.
And then the other thing too is that Patty suggested, and this was a good suggestion, is that we offer it at cost if there's a club that would like to also buy additional PPE kits. that they would get
Yes.
it at our cost, so we could order it and distribute it. And the distribution, we think right now, what we're shooting for is distributing it at the July event, the leadership summit, where all the directors will be. So that way we're not having to ship it all out all over the state. As much as we can, we could distribute, have everything ready there, packed up for folks to take back to their counties and their clubs with them.
Are there any questions? What? So the other main topic we had was, we need to find a replacement for Pat Poulin. He's selfishly, wants to step down, thinks he has too much to do, whatever. We graciously accepted his resignation. But if there's anyone who's interested in serving on the board, please let me or Cindy know. Or else we'll pick someone who may not want to do it and guilt him into doing it. So just let one of us know. The other thing, and there was no motion that came out on this. We've had more and more interest expressed in joining the RRG by other entities, other states, other associations. As we've gotten a little bit more comfortable with it, we've decided it's time to start learning about what it would take. We're not saying that we're going to do it, but we do think it's time to learn about what it will take to expand this to other associations. And that was it. Well, thanks for no questions.
Thank you, Mark. Northeast Chapter USA. Pat, anything from USA?
No, I slept through the last meeting.
Those do have a tendency to do that to you.
I didn't even sign on until a half an hour it was over, so.
Chapter will meet in June out in Green Bay. So that'll be our next gathering. Nothing earth-shattering on the Northeast Chapter front. Oh, let's see. Snow Trails Conservancy. Anything, Patty? Or I mean, Cindy?
Nope, we have not had a meeting.
Okay. Law enforcement?
Just that I've sent out a notification to all law enforcement to get me all of their reports and their billing for the end of the season, so we can get that done for SSTP and get those bills paid, and I can put together the reports I work on for law enforcement each year. That's
Thank
it.
you. Awards and nominating, Patty.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the scholarships. So we did review all, I think it was 14 or 15 nominee applications that were received by the committee members. We review them separately, individually. Each person then supplies their total points, and then I average them out and rank them. So it's an independent type of thing that each committee member does. The top two applicants were actually 1 point apart from each other. They were very close. Both Mandy and Beth have been notified because they help do things, and I should also and Sheila, because Sheila will actually pay. So I did notify all those folks, and Mandy did send out a letter letting the top two folks know that they were going to be the recipients for next year. So the two people are, drum roll please. First person is Lydia Gillespie, Gillespie.
Gillespie.
And what is it?
Gillespie.
Gillespie, okay. And she's undecided where she's going, but most likely UVM. And she is on the pre-med track with biochemistry. And she is part of the Linden Snow Cruisers. And 1 point behind Lydia was Vincent Novak. And he's going to Vermont State University, and he's going to be majoring in business. And he has listed Chester and Green Mountain Snow Dogs as the two clubs that he belongs to. I also sent the two recipients to the Northeast chapter where they can be part of the consideration for $500 scholarships in addition to the ones that VAS does. So that was also taken care of. The awards, just a reminder, they're due on May 1st. E-News with awards as the only topic was sent out on April 2nd. Mandy helped with that, so thank you to Mandy. And the committee is meeting in June, and we will review and determine the award recipients at that June meeting. That's usually an interesting conversation or two at that. National Volunteer Week. I just did the presentation. Again, thank you to all the volunteers for all that you do. The challenge coins, if you did not receive it, based on the titles that I did go through, please reach out to me. And tomorrow you will see an e-news go out, highlighting National Volunteer Week and naming all of you in that e-news as leaders in the association. So thank you to Mandy for her help with that as well. And that's what I have on that stuff. Jeff. Where'd he go?
Patty,
Oh, there he is.
any questions for Patty? Okay. So if you got clubs or volunteers or anything that you want to nominate for awards, make sure those are in to the committee by May 1st. Bylaws and policy, Mark.
Nothing at this time.
Annual meeting, any update from Mr. Garber?
Everything's on track.
Okay.
I'm not Barbara, but
Yeah, I know you're not. Thank you, Ivor.
yeah.
I said or Ivor, but I was muted.
That's all right.
Let's see. No executive committee meeting this month. Financial, Patty, anything that you'd like to add?
So I did have a meeting, Sheila, Cindy, Jeff, and myself on Friday last week. And Cindy did share where she projects the expenses to be at the end of the season. And again, it is a best guess at that, and it will be reviewed as she moves forward through the next couple of months, just monitoring that. So she'll take care of that and managing that business. We also went through the management report in some detail and talked about interest and how that works with the money that's in our savings account. We do have a meeting scheduled in May to talk about the 2025 budget. So I know Cindy's doing a lot of work on her end. I've been doing work on my end. When we get together, we're going to try to come out with a budget for you guys to take a look at and ask your questions. And it's really a collaboration between Cindy, myself, Sheila, and Jeff, putting that together. And again, that'll be presented to you guys later on. Mike Burns came up with an idea about a financial dashboard. So I've been collecting data that would potentially go on that dashboard and looking at software options. So more to come on that. I just wanted to say thanks to both Matt and Beth for providing me some of that data that I think will be a good use for that dashboard, whether it's monthly or yearly. I'm thinking more yearly, but we'll see what happens when Mike and I get together, type of thing to have for everybody, just a dashboard type of template with some key figures for you to be able to communicate to your counties and clubs. More to come on that.
Thank you, Patty. Long range planning, Mark.
We're just getting ready for that reminds me, we have to have a meeting. We have a meeting set for the 28th. I'm sorry. Work has gotten to me. I've been busy. We have a meeting set for the 28th to finalize our agenda for the summit.
Trails, anything more on that, Matt? I don't know. I don't see Kurt on here.
No, we'll have the May meeting, the special May meeting coming up.
Yep.
And that'll be the next one.
You'll send a email out to the Trails Committee on that, so they can get back in touch with their clubs.
Yeah, I'll probably send it out like a week or so before the meeting.
Just so their clubs are aware, but directors can also reach out to their clubs and let them know that clubs are looking for trail changes. Safety, Stan.
Yeah, we met a week ago and got a couple of, I think, pretty good initiatives. One is that the directive that came from the Trails Committee about the online safety class, and we had a discussion at the Governors Council and then on to the Safety Committee about us taking a deep dive into it. Jacob was able to fill us in on a lot of the restrictions that we have as far as making changes, but the portion that's Vermont specific, we're going to be able to update and expand on. So we're going to, few instructors, safety instructors are going to do the course online. We're going to go through the entire process, including the test. And then we're going to put together a draft of some updates and additions for that part of the program. The other thing that we talked about at length, and we did a little kind of live demo with it, was the What 3 Words app. This is something Roger Goslin brought to the committee. And it's to help assist when you've got a need for rescue workers to locate somebody. And it's an interesting app. You put it on your phone and it'll give you 3 words that is associated with your specific location. And then you can share those words with the call center that you've reached out to. And it might be dog, baseball, hockey. And those 3 words they can put into that program, into that app, and it will show them exactly where you are. And we actually did it live during our meeting. I downloaded the app into my phone and we did it. And Roger, he already had it on his and he went to it. And I told him the 3 words that he gave me and he told me exactly where I was. So pretty interesting, when people are in distress on the trail, they don't always know where they are. Trying to remember or repeat coordinates from a GPS may not be that easy, but those 3 words are very simple. So we're going to investigate that further as well. And then we're going to take the next couple of months off on summer vacation, I guess, and then we will regroup in August. That's it.
Thank you, Stan. Any questions for Stan? The app sounds interesting. Might be worth
It
checking
was
out.
amazing how easy it worked. Took me 30 seconds to load it onto my phone. Like I say, Roger had some experience with it. And I went to my phone and you just click on it and it shows you your location, which in my case, I was at home. So it gave me my street address, 13 Partridge. And it gave me 3 words. And Roger said, "What are the 3 words?" I told him what they were. And within, 15 seconds, he said, "Okay, you're on 13 Partridge Lane." And he was, it's very, very, very quick, very accurate. And like he said, for somebody to repeat 3 words is a lot easier than trying to give, the GPS coordinates.
Right. Huh. Nice. Governor's Council, Pat. You're on mute.
Stan kind of stole all the fanfare because we did talk quite a bit about the safety class. We reviewed the numbers. There's 799 students did the course online and 83 did it in person. So doing away with the online course is probably not a good option, just based on the volume of use that it's getting. Making it better and filling the holes that the instructors see is probably the way to go. But other than that, you know, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, but season's over. And we,
Did it ever start?
I'll let you know. It's supposed to snow tonight. Oh gosh, lost my train of thought. Oh, Matt has started to work on the SSTP budget for next year. We will review that next month. And with any questions, and we'll answer those, and then we'll approve it in June. So the council meets next month and in June, and then we're done for the summer until September. And that's it.
Great. Thank you, Pat. All these committees taking the summer off. I don't understand it. All right, that kind of concludes our agenda. Is there anything else that was not on the agenda that anyone would like to bring up? I know everybody wants to go out and enjoy the sunshine before it gets dark. Sure, that's the reason.
I had one thing, Jeff. Our May meeting is scheduled on the agenda for May 27th.
Thank you, Mandy. Yes, that's Memorial Day. So
Oh, yeah.
we want to move it to the Monday before, or do we want to?
The Monday before would end up being the same night as your special trails meeting, right, Matt?
No, it would be on the, hold on, I can pull it up right here, Jim.
20th. It'd be May 20th.
Yes.
We just have to bump Trails Committee back.
The Trails Committee is scheduled for May 13th.
Good, yep.
So that works, right? If we move this meeting back 1 week.
Move that back to the 20th.
Yeah, that's a busy month.
Yep, that'll work. So, Trails Committee is on the 13th, and we will move the Board of Directors to the 20th. Thank you, Mandy.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mandy.
You're welcome.
Darn holidays. Okay. Anything else? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Washington County take a motion to adjourn.
In a second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 54
Good
minutes.
night.
That's got to be a record for a board meeting.
No, but it's close.